Hello, this is Darkon, and well, this is obviously Final Fantasy IV. Glad to see you're back. Now, I was going to mention before, but I did forget that if at any point I do get stuck on a particular boss or area, just in case the character levels are too low, I will do a little offline grinding because that's not something you want to see. You don't want to see someone grinding levels in the game. At least not in this one. But let's go visit the town here first. Ah, what a nice little town. You hear that rumor? Word is that this place called the training classroom under the Devil's Road. New adventurers can get all sorts of advice down there, or so they say. But I'm not that new. You're Lord Cecil of the Red Wings, or my eyes betray me. You seek the Valley of Mist? It lies beyond a cave in the northwestern mountains. And you see, that's why it's always a good idea to talk to NPCs. Like I said before, if I didn't play the game before, I wouldn't know which direction the actual mountains were. But now I do. Tents, potions, and antidotes are travelers' boon companions. Doesn't sound right, but oh well. If you're journeying far, best to be well provisioned. Oh, welcome. Yeah, it's best we have at least some potions. Oh. Especially early on, you definitely want some. Let's go with 10. We have no antidotes whatsoever, so we'll go with... well, playing with the controls a little different. We'll stick with 4. Used to ball our gill, but that should do us fine. Grim are these days that our king trains his men in the way of the dark sword. The door is locked. Oh, that's kind of obvious. Well, let's go into here. Oh, the Devil's Road. This building houses the entrance to the Devil's Road. The Dwemer path that leads to Mysidia. In quieter days, it was a thriving means of trade, but now the wizards have sealed the exit on their end, effectively closing the route. There's also a military classroom down in the cellar, though I'm sure you have no need to be taught about combat. Very true. And you wonder, oh, I wonder why they sealed it off. Yep, doesn't work. Small wonder, because we pretty much just stole the crystal and tried to kill everyone. Okay, not really kill everyone, but still. Let's talk to these guys anyways. Remember, discretion is the part of valor that doesn't leave you scrambling for a phoenix down. If battle isn't going well, press M and run like mad. Remember also that some spells can be cast upon the entire enemy or ally party. Press Z if you wish to change the targeted party for the spell. And yeah, that's all the basic stuff. We're using normal controls, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's good if you've never played this kind of game before, and especially if you're if you don't have a remote control, or if you're just simply playing on the actual keyboard and such, which apparently is still very viable. There's nothing wrong with that. Just that I'm more used to actually playing on a remote control. Nothing good can come from our meddling in the affairs of Mist. Rosa's house, huh? His Majesty's recent behavior troubles me. Even you and your men have been doing some terrible things as I hear it, orders though they may be. All I ask is that you keep Rosa out of harm's way and don't involve her in these dangerous games you men must play. Nope, can't go down there. We'll continue. We'll go over the bridge afterwards. After we finish exploring a little bit around. Oh, wrong one. Now, I do believe, I'm trying to remember, here we are. This is the map button. And of course it does disappear when we go around. And I believe there was one more I remember. There it is. We can now look, we can travel around looking as Kane. It doesn't change what the characters tell you or the NPCs tell you, but still, so if you want to look like a different character when running around. If you're wondering which one I'm pressing, on the PS4 I am pressing the square button. Which is kind of an odd thing, because all the buttons are technically round. Oh, it's a Dark Knight, but you know, I don't think you look so mean. So he says about, yep, as I thought. Every once in a while they'll put in some things where they'll say something slightly different depending on what character you are. But, no, it's always the same. Door's locked. Well, not entirely surprising. At this point, we don't actually need to replace any of our gear at all. So it's pretty much why it says it's locked. Like, there's just, it's pointless otherwise. Same spot. Oh, keep pressing the wrong button there. Nope, there we go. No, nothing. You see a little secret. Draw on the west side, you say? Ah, yes, yes. The old waterway. Flows to the castle, but it's kept under lock and key now, child. Now, if we move out like that, we will actually go out to the world map, but we're not quite done exploring, so yeah, let's continue down this way. Yeah, nothing down there. Oh, hello. My lord, I have spoken no ill of His Majesty, I swear it. Why don't I show you a little something and we can just forget about everything, alright? Yeah, sure, why not? Now, you might not know it, but in the original games, these kind of things happened too. Like, it was the same thing, except it wasn't... Except for them, they were just dancing around the character. Like, you know how the games were. She would basically be... The character would be spinning around and going around like that, and then like that, and then spinning again, and so... Just stuff like those. And of course, naturally, you get little different secrets here and there. We can now go all the way down the waterway. We can also go back up. It's not much, but... if we keep going... It's not always, but sometimes there is something all the way at the end. Yep. You see? You get treasure. There might be another one around here somewhere. Yep. Because as you can see, we can't move forward, so there's something there. We already opened the one there. Oh, we're all good. Now we got one more place, and that's the one we didn't go to, the one on the top left. But obviously, in order to get there, we have to go all the way back. Oh, gotta go down a little bit farther. It is Sid's house. This must be his daughter. Father was out working all last night again. When will he realize he's not young enough for this anymore? You tell him for me, won't you, Cecil? Tell him he needs to settle down. The townspeople have been saying horrible things about His Majesty and the others at the castle. It's all Father's been able to do to still their tongues. We know there's plenty of good men there like you. Oh, there he is. She's finished. The new ending too. Maybe not the sound effects of the snoring, that's a little bit bad. But let's continue on. We got some potions, we got some basic supplies. Let's go out into the world. And again, here's the world map. Well, partly the world map. Now, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember exactly where it is. Should still be one in the game as well. No, not down that way. It's hard to remember exactly where everything was in comparison to the other games, because even though they're the same places, they're not quite there. Oh, it's a hedgehog with massive-sized, very thick spikes. Oh, get some eye drops. Good for curing the blind debuff. Up there. I'm trying to remember. There's a bit. I'm trying to remember exactly where it is. There's something special around this area just before we enter the top. Actually, I gotta recorrect what I said before about weapons and armor. The armor doesn't change, but if I remember correctly, the weapons do change depending on what kind of what weapon they have. So, like, say if Cain got a different spear, the spear will look different. I swear, it was around here somewhere. Maybe it's down this way. Ah, there it is. A little bit odd, isn't it? But there's something special in here. That's right. It's a chocobo forest. And of course, if you want to know, you can ride the gold ones. Just average. Of course, like I said, in the original game, there was several of them. And they ran around all over the place, and oh, there's some more here. But they ran much faster, so you would actually have to start. Sometimes you'd try to get this one for the particular reason of he restores your MP right off the bat. There you go. Of course, for our characters, since they don't use MP, it's pretty damn useless. But imagine you're trying to get that one, and a bunch of these are running all over the place. You try to click on it, nope, you got this guy, and then what happens? Well, I'll show you in a second. And of course, every chocobo forest had one of these, or something similar to it. We don't have anything to actually use it yet, so we'll have to wait to show you later what exactly that does. But in the older game, it was, like I said, it's always been a bit useful. Not massively so, but it was something. You caught chocobo. And there we go. Now, this is just an average chocobo, so it can't really do too much. But you don't have any world encounters, and it can go over rivers. And as well as lakes. Can't do anything with mountains, but you know. Now, it's not something we really need to use. Of course, if we let him go, that's what happens. Now, it's not always a good idea to use chocobo, like, all the time, because you do want those random encounters so you can get experience, so your characters aren't left so far behind level, so that way you don't have to worry about grinding later on. Oh, and we got a random encounter. You might not have noticed because the characters didn't move, but I was using the analog stick to actually make them move. It just kind of happened that way. Now it kind of shows the accuracy of, I do believe, like, our personal accuracy in hitting them. Gold needle. Now that one cures the stone status effect, or petrify. Essentially, yeah, you're turning to stone. Different from paralysis. Or actually, let's see. It should tell us right as soon as we hover over it. Yep, remove stone. Now these are always useful. They don't really work for bosses, but sometimes you'll get these very every once in a while you get very powerful, just regular mobs. Like, they will be super strong. Only in certain areas, but stuff like this, especially if you don't have the spell, or if you don't want to use the spell, you can quickly use that, and that'll give you a definite edge. That, again, also useful. Let's continue on. Of course, naturally, we got one more fight, and we've been surprised. So, they get to go first. And yeah, for like early fights like this, you can pretty much just let them attack whatever. Of course, it's like that for all early games anyways. Or early levels of games. And of course, naturally, Cain twirls his spear. Oh, since the level's increased. I'm not sure if in the other games they started at level 10. They may have just simply started at level 1, but, you know, it's probably just like a design thing where, yeah, like you're a Dark Knight, you're not going to start at like the lowest level. Oh, wait a second. Oh, there's Naming Way. Oh, greetings and salutations again. Your name was Cecil, was it not? After we last spoke, I set about mapping out a new course for my life. One that would allow me to help people. But having undertaken the task of mapping, the name of Nemingway now seems rather inappropriate. Namingway became Mappingway, the cartographer. Huh. Alright, let me give you this. Obtained Wayfarer's Map. It's an enchanted map that will draw itself as you traverse floors of caves and dungeons. And that's not all. For each map you complete, you will receive a fantastic reward. I hope you find it useful. Well then, until we meet again. No, that really is useful. It kind of gives you a bonus of, you know, just an encouragement to explore everything. Which again, it's pretty fun to do. Like, you just get those little bits here and there. And of course, clearly you can see down there in the bottom right, we're at 5%. So we'll continue on. Look, we got slugs and moths. Oh, I do believe he's been affected with... Yep. I believe he was affected with... what the hell was it? Oh yeah, darkness. Yeah, we'll keep using slow, but it's not really going to work all that much, considering it's already worked once. Yeah, never mind. We're now at 10% accuracy. So apparently that does continue to work. So for Kane, we're going to continue jumping. We're going to get rid of that thing. That way he can continue to hit it, and Kane won't be affected. We want to remove blind on ourselves. Actually, what he needs is wipers on his helmet. Just tiny little wipers. There we go. Now we first learned, well, we have to get rid of first when we fight these things. Slow, we can deal with. Those constantly hitting us with blind, a bit more of an issue. Because again, slow will only work so much. It won't make us stop. Which again is a completely different spell. And spells like stop or slow should end after the fight, but blind does persist a bit. And Kane's got a new level. Not much an increase in stats, but then again, wasn't really expecting much. Yep, can't really go anywhere around there. Ooh, treasure. I shall get that later. Now, one thing I found when playing the original games, one second, leave this place. Who's there? Okay, now I was saying, if you take a look at the old maps of the games, of the versions of this game, and compare it to this current one here, pretty much all of it is exactly the same, even where like the hidden spots are. So you're ever wondering, okay, what if you have like the old maps and such, you can play this and they're still entirely viable. I've tested it out myself. Of course, this was quite a few years ago on the DS version. Oh, definitely want that. More eye drops. And of course another fight. At least they're not moths. Should give Kane another potion soon. Just realized his health is a bit low. Let's see, inventory. You'll get one too. That should do it. Actually, let's sort. There we go. Let's see what Cecil's thinking. I feel presence. It is not hostile, but nor could it be called friendly. Let's see if Kane says anything different. Oh, he does. They say that Eidolon dwells here, yet the cave is quiet as a grave. That 10's always good. Oh, we're at 82%. Then again, I'm not expecting this to be a large cave. Return whence you came. That voice. Could it be the Eidolon? Men of Baron. You know who we are? Leave at once, and no harm will befall you. I will abide no further trespass. Show yourself. You mean to ignore my warning? Yes, I'm pretty sure we are. We must deliver this ring to the village mist beyond. So be it. The mist is gathering. Now again, in the original game, the whole area was actually misty, and the mist did actually gather. It was a bit more pronounced, but still. I kind of like the original version of the Mist Dragon as well. It didn't look so... I'm not sure. I just take a look at it and I'm just thinking... a little too much jewelry. Used to look a lot more misty, like it was made of mist. Again, this fight's pretty simple. And apparently its weakness is dark. And luckily we have a Dark Knight. The dragon is... Yep, there we go. Defend. We don't want to swap rows. Now I'll say right now, if we attack when the mist is like that, we will have a powerful counterattack done to us. Not a good idea. Let's use darkness. Give ourselves a little power boost. Since we're fighting this particular type of creature and it's weak to our sword. Ooh, 100. That's pretty good. And Kane did okay. So in a fight like this, you can't just attack recklessly all the time. You have to be prepared. Well, if it wasn't for the fact that we already beat the boss. Ah, good. A level increase. Could always use more levels. And the cave's complete. We got 5 potions. Hey, for a beginning map, that's pretty good. Strange. I felt no malice in that dragon. No evil. That's what Kane says. There was little sport in that, but it is done. Now to deliver the ring. Sorry about that, I'm getting a bit tongue-tied. Let's continue on. Ah, goblins. And again, they're not really much of a match. Although we should remember to give Cecil a potion. Way to go, Kane. Let's see, we'll give ourselves a nice potion. And we will save just before we go in. Because remember, it's always a good idea to save before you go into a new area. Mission complete. Or mission accomplished.
The ring!
That's not good. Those are a lot of bombs.
This is what we were sent to do?
He wished this village torched.
But why? Why?
Mother, you can't die. Just because your dragon did.
I've heard of their lot. Men who can conjure eidolons. Summoners.
Then the dragon we slew was her mother's?
You're the ones who killed her dragon?
Forgive us. We'd no idea this would happen to your mother.
His Majesty sent us to eliminate every last one of these people.
No.
Foul work, to be sure, but we'll need to kill the girl as well.
Cain!
It's her or us, Cecil.
She's a child!
You'd betray your king?
Betray him? Any man who'd wish for this is no king of mine.
I thought you might say that.
Then...
I owe His Majesty much, but not so much I'd soil the Dragoon's name in his.
then you're with me.
Baron's army is the mightiest in the world. Our flight means nothing if we remain alone. We must treat with other nations, share what we've seen. And Rosa, she must share our flight.
And she will. Thank you.
I'm not doing this for you.
Huh?
Quickly, we mustn't linger here. What of the girl?
We take her with us. Come. It's not safe here. Take my hand.
Go!
We've no time. Use force if you must.
That might not be a
Wait.
good idea.
Leave me alone! I hate you!
Yeah. Not a good idea. Get away from me! And she summoned Titan. Now Titan in the original version was much different. He looked more like just a very buff guy with a loincloth. As you can see, there's a very big difference. And, well, don't piss off the girl. That's rule number 1. Considering she just did that. Ugh. Yeah, it's not an ugh, but still. She's alive. Thank goodness. Cain? Cain! Well, I cannot stay here. I need to take this girl someplace safe. Forgive me, Cain. Well, if you don't know, this mountain range did not used to be there. And that was the same thing in the original thing. Like, there was no mountain range, and then all of a sudden, you now cannot go past. And some effects around here got a little bit more annoying. Not too bad, but still. Oh, Phoenix down. That's always good to get. Let's see. Sand, sand, more sand. These fishes. Desert saws. And a giant earwig? Let's find out. Hundigs? Maybe it's just a thing of 100, like a word off 100 legs or something. Very large desert. Let's see. Nothing. There we go. Water. When there's water? Well, in the desert it means an oasis, and that usually means there's something else there. Another level. Kaipo, I need to find a place to let this child rest. Hail, traveler. Oh my, I'm not seeing a child so pale. Please get her to a bed. You needn't worry about payment. My pardons. You've woken. You still haven't told me your name. I want to ask you to forgive me. It's my fault you lost your mother. But please, at least allow me to take you someplace safe. She wants nothing to do with us. Well, this can't be good. It seems we found you, Lord Cecil. Please, you must listen. His Majesty. Our orders come directly from His Majesty's own mouth. Surrender the girl, or he will pardon you all you. Sorry. Surrender the girl, and he will pardon all you've done. The inhabitants of Mist represent a threat to us all. They must not be allowed to live. What? Stand aside. I think I'd rather not. And now for a fight. Attack! let's go after the general next. Oh, he's a bit tougher. Whoops. Wanted to attack the general again. Because that's what happens. Oh well, not much you can do about it now. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. You have nothing to apologize for. It is I who have wronged you, and apologies cannot right the things I've done. But you protected me. My name's Ryda. Ryda? Ooh, we got a summoner for our party. Ah, achievement unlocked. Apprentice Summoner. No, I'm pretty sure we just slept the whole night, so let's ignore that for now. I cannot undo what I've done, Ryda, but I will make amends. Let's see what she says. You look so sad. I wonder why. Let's see. Well, before we do anything else, we're still not quite done in the town yet, obviously. But that will be enough for now. This was Darkon, and I hope you continue to enjoy Final Fantasy IV. If you did please like, fave, or subscribe. Leave a comment below, and I'll be sure to see you next time for more Final Fantasy.